ตักตักทาตุยาดายาอะระหะเดตัมมิวตัมโบดาตวะThe unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I am able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. 无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇，我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Jingyang, Great Master Shenhua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors of Meidofo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父、上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 9th of March 2025. Thank you for joining our discussion of the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. I see some new faces, so give me a few minutes to clue them in. And this is the highest level of Buddhist wisdom, if you will, without boasting, at the risk of being misunderstood. This is the highest wisdom of the entire universe. The universe has countless Buddha lands, galaxies for you. And each galaxy was created by a Buddha. And as you see, this universe, what we call a Dharma realm, is expanding. It's still expanding because more and more Buddhas are being accomplished. And therefore, these Buddhas, once they become Buddhas, they're just like us, starting out, and they cultivate it. Thank you very much. Oh, they're cute. Cultivated like us, they cultivate it, and they acquire wisdom. And over time, over a long, long time, they became Buddhas. After they became Buddhas, they realized that what's the most important thing to do when you're Buddha? You retire, you drive a red car, you draw on your Social Security and so forth, 401k. No. They work even harder to help living beings. They became Buddhas by helping living beings, and once they became they are bodhisattvas because they want to help living beings. And once the bodhisattvas become Buddhas, they are able to help even more living beings. So they get even busier, like our lifestyles here. As we get more people the last 20 years, we are busier. We're not less busy at all, okay? And because we are able to do more and more. We have these programs we want to do, but not enough manpower and resources to do it. Thank you. And so Buddhas, after they become Buddhas, they accomplish Buddhahood, the first thing they did was to teach bodhisattvas, because they're next in line, and they're the most important part of the work. You see, to have the greatest impact, the Buddhas teach the bodhisattvas, teach the teachers, if you will. Okay? And so this sutra, that's what Buddhas taught bodhisattvas. They teach bodhisattva this sutra. So Shakyamuni Buddha, our Buddha here in the Saha world, our galaxy, is called Saha in Buddhism. And so he taught the sutra in 21 days to bodhisattvas, mahasattvas. Okay, so he imparted his highest level of wisdom to these superior beings. Why are we studying it? We're studying it for a very important reason. Many reasons, but a very important reason I want you all to understand is that to open our mind. The nature of our limitations is that we are bound by our own knowledge, our own beliefs. I'll give you an example, daily example, to illustrate this point. Because if your mind is not looking for it, your mind rejects it, you will never be able to expand it. Okay? Expand meaning for you, for us, is understand more, to see more, discover more, and realize the full potential of our minds. And give an example of that thing. I don't know it happens to you, but it still happens to me. Like looking for my car key. It happened to you? I can't find my car keys more often than I like to admit. And quite frequently, I would go around the house looking for a car key. What happened? Looking all the pockets. I have a lot of pockets, you know. When I wear this, I have like at least 10 pockets. Secret pockets and so forth. Okay? Couldn't find it. For like 10 minutes, I got frustrated. I said, One Yin Bodhisattva, please help me. I need to go. Help me find the key. Like the Venerable Old Abbot would do. When you're in trouble, call One Yin Bodhisattva. I did that. And guess what? I got up and walked around to the kitchen. It's right there on the counter. I walked by there at least 10 times. Couldn't see it. Happened to you? Why is that? Why is that? Because what happened to me, I noticed, is that I said, I must have put it somewhere, but certainly not on the counter of the kitchen. So my mind was not looking for a key on the counter of the kitchen. Sounds familiar? That's what happens to us. If your mind, rejects it, eliminates it, you will not see it. You will not register. So that's why when you listen to this sutra here, keep an open mind. Trust me, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have better things to do than pull your leg and scam you for your money. Okay? So they're teaching us for our sakes. So this section here, the section of the celestial kings, heavens up there. And these heavenly beings are spirits. They're called spirits, unlike the normal jargon. Spirits in Buddhism were originally ghosts. Okay? Ghosts are yin beings or troublemakers, but these ghosts live for millions and hundreds of millions of years. And over the time, they encountered the Dharma and they liked it. So they started cultivating. So yin is like negative. They cause problems. And then we encountered Buddha Dharma like you became better, became nicer. Okay? And so they cultivate goodness. That's how ghosts become spirits. Ghosts are yin, they are troublemakers, they're evil, they're negative, they're very unhappy. And they cultivate Buddha Dharma and become spirits, which are yang. They're positive, they do good things. So these Gandharvas are musical spirits. They entertain the Christian God, or the Jade Emperor, as the Taoists would call it, okay? Or the Christian God, like the Catholics would call it, Allah, if the Mormons would call them, and so forth. And so these are musical spirits, they're musicians, and their music is sublime. Now I know why I've been listening to music, because of this sutra. Yeah, heavenly music is by far the best in our realm. Okay, so anyway, so these are actually Mahasattvas who, in the path of cultivation, they choose to manifest themselves, go to the realm of spirits to help other spirits. Okay, and we're learning how these celestial kings that live in the heavens became enlightened and what they do. All right, here. Any questions about that? Yeah, that's the background. Okay, so the text here is that Gandharva king, everywhere manifesting adornments, gained a passage into liberation, meaning became enlightened, reached its level of enlightenment of skillfully entering all Buddha states and bestowing peace and joy upon sentient beings. And so we discussed part of this already last week, the last time, when it says, entering all Buddha states, Buddha state, you say entering Buddha states without all, meaning they get some help. But when you say that entering all Buddha states, he's probably a Buddha already, pretending to be a Mahasattva. That's what Buddhas do. They do whatever it takes to help us. So if we're in the mood to listen to Mahasattva, they manifest as Mahasattva. They mood to be helped by a Buddha, they manifest as Buddha, and so forth. All right? And where are we? Here, right? So he manifests Buddha states. And what for? They do things for purpose, to benefit us. How do they benefit us? By bestowing peace and joy. Isn't that interesting? They're not giving us money, they're not giving us material things, giving us good spirits and joy in our hearts. Isn't it interesting how it can help people? Who says you need money? Who says you need to be rich? Who says you need a microphone? Go ahead, number 8.
Thank you, Master. You have a question here from Nacho. Amitabha, Master. So, if the ghost encounters the Dharma, do they go directly to the heavens, or do they improve their samadhi? Thank you, Master.
Okay. Ghosts, again, as I said, ghosts are in beings. They're usually bound down here to our realm. Okay, the heavens, when you hear the word heaven in Buddhism, it's for people with heavenly blessings. Heavenly blessings manifest in a form once you go up there. What happens? Very, very peculiar thing happens. It's different from us, totally different from us. What's the difference between a heavenly being and, let's say, the nun back there, seeing XP? Huh? What's the difference? Or XX? Shall I go on? What's the difference? It's very, very interesting. We don't talk about it because it's beyond you, so it doesn't do anything for you. Huh? What's the difference? No one knows? Oh my God. You study Buddhism for so long, you don't even know? What's the difference between heavenly beings and you, Senor?
Thank you, Master. Maybe Because we humans, we have both. We have good yin and yang. Maybe in the heavenly beings, they're mostly yang energy because of their blessings.
Okay. Yang energy? Okay, go for it.
They're not suffering.
They're not suffering. True. When you have heavenly blessings, you are always joyful and happy, unlike us. Very good. And furthermore, this is why combined wisdom that you all have, you put it together, you don't need me anymore. I just ask questions, you give answers. Okay? So heavenly beings different from us is that they are always happy until the end of their lives. When they're alive, the entire life, they're happy. They don't suffer at all until the very end, where they suffer so much they couldn't take it. That's why they tend to fall. Pay attention to this, folks. If at the time of death you have evil thoughts, bad thoughts, thoughts of suffering, you fall. That's why. Okay? So, especially you men, just between us, be careful. Okay? You don't have that problem, Jesse. But, because on our deathbed, okay, if your wife is unhappy with you and said, "Why are you leaving me? You mistreated me your entire life, always neglected me, and now you're leaving me. You are a miserable man. You are a bad man." And you feel so sad yourself. Your wife makes you fall. Be careful, don't listen to them. Good tip. All the resentment they have their entire lives, they dump it on us, and that bad timing. So that's why what you do is before you die, talk to them. Anything you want to tell me first? You think I'm kidding? That's what happens to a lot of people. The wives resent them. And so they come and look at them. Maybe they don't say like the way we Americans do, but look at them. You're leaving me, and now you feel guilty. That's even bad as well. You want to avoid, guys, Jim. Make sure. Mary Jo is a good person. She will not do it to you. Make sure that, guys, your last thought is a positive thought. Remember that. This is the most important thing I want to share with you today. The rest doesn't matter. Careful, okay? How do we get here? Anyway, yes, DTT. Now I woke them up. I work on you girls next. Of course, Yumi. Okay, next. It's not my problem. I can't hear you. It's 8.
Thank you, Master. I just have a question about when people die, let's say they get to heaven, do they become what we call heavenly beings?
Yeah. You're born there, like you're born in America, you're American. Same thing.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
The difference, though, is when you're born in heavens, it's no birth process. It's no like C-section or, they tap you on the butt. It's a bad way to welcome someone to the world,
Okay, thank you, Master.
It's nasty. Unpleasant. That's why the rest of our lives, we have this unpleasant feeling, something happened to me, I am not happy about it, And now it turns out it's someone tap us in the butt. Yes, 6.
Thank you, Master. I was curious, heavenly beings, do they cultivate, can they expand their blessings and not have to fall?
Remember, they have so much fun their entire lives. They're born, they have no suffering of birth. They live their entire lives getting what they want, having fun, heavenly music. Think about it. Hey, Jesse, heavenly music. You need to fly up there. And just take notes and come down here and be a great composer.
I believe I can fly.
Bunch of jokers here. I can't believe this is very serious and most advanced Buddhist wisdom. This is too much. And did you hear, were you at the cafeteria? It's louder than a market. Boston Market is not as loud as our cafeteria. You guys are too loose. Anyway, where were we? Okay, and so they don't suffer. They born heavenly blessings, meaning that you go up there to enjoy yourselves. So for your entire life, you really enjoy yourself. It's a very, very good life, no suffering. Okay, and then at the very end, that's when they suffer. And because their entire lives, they never had to suffer. So a little bit of suffering, like they come and pinch you or whatever. Okay, like they find out that the clothes are dirty. The entire lives they wear clothes, they have the finest clothes, much better than what is it, Piana and so forth. Okay, and Birkin bags. Don't talk in Birkin bags. It's nothing. Okay, in heaven, it's Birkin bag is like it's like we throw in a garbage can. Okay, so a little bit of suffering, like they found out that the clothes, okay, the fine clothes that never got dirty, became dirty, and they said, "Oh my God, this is terrible," and they couldn't take it. Because the clothes got dirty. It got dirty. In South Carolina, would you believe that? They're so weak. Because when you have too much pleasure, you become weak. So the clothes got dirty, and then they started perspiring, because their entire lives, they never perspire unlike you. Because after you perspire, it stings a little bit, and they can't take it. So a little bit of suffering, they went berserk. And because of that, the thought of suffering, they fall. Yes, I have 3 questions here. Okay, hang on. DTT. Going back to my favorite Korean. When are you leaving? Yeah, I recognize it. I recognize that figure right there. She's invisible.
어차피 같이 안 있잖아요, 마스터.
Okay.
세란이 안 들려요, 통역이.
I thought you gone to the Philippines already. Yeah, go on, Jumi. Don't mind us. I got distracted, that's all. As usual. What do you want?
No, Sarah's
Sarah's mic
master. Sarah's mic working.
not working.
Sarah's mic not working.
The mic not working.
마사지?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Okay, next. Let's go first.
Master, could you explain how to have a good thought at the end of our lives?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for asking me. So, heavenly beings are different from us because they don't know suffering until the very end. Okay? And number two is that what's different about them, this is much more important, is that they are incapable of a bad thought. They cannot have a bad thought. They always have good thoughts. Whereas the Christians, the Catholics here, they have a lot of bad thoughts. Thank you, Daniel, for coming at the right time. I was looking around for an example of someone who has bad thoughts, and guess what? Daniel walked in. Okay, yeah. So how did a good thought go up there? I don't know. I have so many bad thoughts. You want to go to the heavens? Seriously? That's disappointing. It's just setting
Master,
your sights very low.
Master, I thought what you were saying is that we should have good thoughts, so we're not going to the three evil realms.
Okay, very simple. You enter samadhi. So, this is a very good question, by the way. Okay, compliments of the Chinese. We're so international. We have hola, and so forth. Now, what happened is that at the time of death, this is where your training comes handy. And you're worried about having a bad thought, you enter samadhi. Okay? And that's when you're incapable of having bad thoughts. How's that? Only trouble is what? Now, this is testing the thing I've been teaching you the last 20 years. You better, this is a pop quiz. Yes, 8.
Well, the trouble is, how are you going to get into full lotus?
How are you going to full lotus? Okay, take a break. Yes, 3.
I just have a question about that answer.
Question about that answer? How do you get in full lotus? You cross your legs.
Master, I'm just wondering about, the heavenly king, many heavenly king or chakra, they are Mahasabha or Bodhisattva. So why don't they teaching the heavenly being their people to the practice of Nachan?
Careful, you being yourself again. You blaming the king. It's not like they're not willing to teach. It's that because we're not willing to learn.
So they don't have any blessing about
it's a two-way street. They're willing to teach, but you have to be willing to receive. That's why I started by telling you, keep an open mind. Don't say, this is my world. The universe is expanding like this because your mind is that vast. Okay? So that's the difference. Yes, DTT, finally.
마스터, 두 가지 질문이 있는데 첫 번째는 마스터께서 예전에 아나함이 죽게 되면 천상에 태어나고 천상에서 태어나서 아나함이 계속 오래 살다가 한 번만 사바세계로 돌아와서 아란이 된다라고 하셨었어요. 네.
Master, I remember what you said. When you are third stage arhat, you'll be reborn in heaven only once, and then you come back to the Saha world and reborn, and then you become arhat.
근데 이제 제가 궁금했던 거는 물론 이제 아라함부터가 다음 생을 결정할 수 있는 결정어를 갖고 있는 건 알고 있는데 아나함이 죽어서 천상에 태어났다가 다시 한 번 돌아와서 아란이 되는 그러니까 세란 다시 할게요. 아나함이 죽어서 천상에 태어난 이유가 있는 건지 왜냐하면 제가 알고 있기로는 천상에서는 수명이 굉장히 긴 걸로 gioc하고 있고 천상은 행복하기 때문에 수행할 수 있는 동기가 없다고 들어서요. 네.
Nghe có hiểu, nghe cái chữ Anaham với A-la-hán không? Hồi nãy cô đã nói đó. Thanh Hương có nghe được cái chữ Anaham với A-la-hán không? Đại Hàn nói tiếng Đại Hàn đó. Thiệt ra là tiếng Hàn từ tiếng Việt mình ra đó, thấy không? Vietnamese joke. I cannot translate for you. I will offend a lot of Koreans.
그러니까 아나함이 죽어서
Yeah.
천상에 태어났는데 천상에 태어난 이유가
Did you understand the Vietnam thing? A-la-hán với Anaham. Sounds familiar? To Korean? Yeah? I was asking her, can you hear,
맞아요.
did you get it? Yeah? Okay, never mind. Continue.
So my question is, the third stage arhat, is there any reason why they're reborn in the heaven? Because I remember what you said, the heavenly beings lives really long lives.
그리고 또 현상에서는 행복하기 때문에 수행의 동기가 없기 때문에 수행하지 않고 있다고 저는 그렇게 기억하거든요. 마스터의 법문을. 네. 그래서 그게 아남에 대한 질문이었고.
And I remember that one of your Dharma talk, you mentioned that the heavenly beings has no worries and really content for their living, so there's no reason for them to cultivate.
그다음에 이제 두 번째 결과부자에 대한 질문이 있는데 결과부자는 다른 어떤 수행보다도 산매력과 복력이 드러나는 수행의 종류라고 생각을 하고 있거든요. 제가 결과부자에 대한 산매력, 선정력, 사마디 파워 레벨, 네, 복이요, 복. 네네네. 예, 복이 좀 그 받침이 그러니까 복이 그 사람이 가진 산매력과 복이 어느 정도인지가 드러나는 수행이 제가 결과부자라고 특별히 알고 있는데 제가 잘못된 결과부자 수행에 관한 인식과 관점을 갖고 있는지가 질문이에요.
Giờ nói về độ ngọt Poki.
And also, I have a question about lotus position. So crossing the legs, I believe that there should be basic necessity for the amount of samadhi and also amount of blessings. That is the fundamental, to be sitting in full lotus. And did I understand wrong, or is that a wrong concept?
Yeah, you're all wrong. Okay, and don't worry about the heavens, The more I tell you, the more you ask questions. So I'm not going to answer you anymore. What is the matter with you? I told you, you get to a fourth stage arhat, which is a very nice attainment, very nice level of concentration or samadhi. Then, at the end of your life, you enter that samadhi, you will be reborn to that heavens for them. Now you ask me why? Because the Buddha said so. I didn't make the rules. But if it were you, if it were your case, don't worry. I will talk to King Yama and ask him to send him to a lower level heaven where you live shorter lives. Feel better? Actually, I'm going to text him right now. 아니요.
마스터는 대자비는 있는데 소자비는 없는 것 같으세요.
For that, I will teach you up to third stage. That's it. Okay, and then I will ask King Yama to take care of you. Anyone else? What's the second question? We ignore the second question. Yes, go first. You have one question per day now from now on.
Previous question. When about the enter samadhi at the end of life. So I think the karmic obstructions will come to interrupt us when we try to enter samadhi.
Yeah, that's correct. But again, don't tell her too much. She'll ask more questions. Anyone else? Yes, in the back.
Master, one situation you mentioned before is that they forgot.
They forgot what?
They forgot to enter samadhi.
Yeah, then why tell you, you've been mean to me your entire life. How can you possibly enter samadhi? They lay guilt trips on you because it works.
No.
Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. I saw something and it was retracted, so I guess I don't have it to ask.
Oh, it's about guilt trips? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, about something. But I was going to say that actually I saw that actually happen. My dad was dying and my mom screamed.
There's one that lives in Oakland.
Yeah, and my dad was
Who's
dying.
98 years old
She's
now.
98. She's going to be 98 in June. She wants a big party.
Wow.
Anyhow, my dad was
Healthy and everything.
Pardon?
She can walk. She can,
Well, she has a hard time walking now. Her knees are not so good, but we get her around. Yeah.
Okay.
But I just remember that when my dad was on his deathbed and he was ready to die, and he was very pleasant and he was happy, and then my mom screamed and said, "Honey, don't go." And so she forced him to go back in his body, and then he had a few.
So he was like, the soul is coming out.
He was.
And he said, "Honey, don't go." And whoop.
He went back in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He has kung fu.
I
I'm
tell you.
impressed.
Then he was there for like 3 more days.
3 more days. And excuse me for asking, is he Filipino? What has to do with it? It's ethnicity. We have some skills, man.
Yes.
Really? Oh, wow. Impressive. Next lifetime. Wow. Is that real? Is that for real, really? So he decided not to go because she didn't want him to go.
Yeah. And he waited until there were the plans and going to the funeral. I mean, getting things set up. And then she went to him and she says, "Okay, honey.
Okay, now you can go.
Yeah, you can go now because I got your place ready. I got your final resting place ready. I made sure that there are going to be yellow flowers nearby, and everything is set now."
And where is your dad now?
Well, he's in that cemetery. Well, my dad, we've talked about my dad.
Poor guy. See what I mean, guys? I mean, careful. Yes, DTT. Go ahead, DTT. How come? Oh, I know why it's so dark here. You know why? Because the camera has an automatic adjustment. The background has a big window.
Right.
So that's why it, looks darker.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that they are, dark skin or anything.
What? Okay.
No offense.
Master, so what if I pass away peacefully or somebody else passes away peacefully in their sleep? Mm-hmm. They can't get into samadhi. What do they do then?
What do they do? It's more involved than that. Even if you enter samadhi, unless you're 4th stage arhat or higher, you still have, if you're below 3rd stage arhat and below down to us, okay? If you're low level, then you still have to go see King Yama, and you have to wait for 49 days. But if you're 4th stage or higher, then you can go wherever you want to go. King Yama has no saying over you. Okay, you know why? Because King Yama, when he meets with a 4th stage or higher, he has to get up from his chair and say, he doesn't like to do that. I'm told. So he says, just go. Don't, just leave me alone. Okay, so he's very busy. So seriously, below that, you have to go see King Yama, and King Yama makes you wait for 49 days, up to 49 days. So during the 49 days after your death, anything could happen. Whereas if you cultivate and you reach level 4th stage or higher, then you can go before your karmic debts can mobilize and come harass you and stop you. Does it make sense? So you have control over your destiny. You can say, okay, I'm out of here. And they, they can't react fast enough. Except when if you have a wife who keeps you back for 3 days, don't listen to her, okay? Ignore her. Say, I'm out of here, honey. Yeah. I see you next lifetime or never. Anyone else? Daniel, you're laughing. You wait and see. We got you earmarked. Daniel Carrasco, right? Okay. Text me exact. I will text King Yama. Yes, 5.
Dạ, thưa Thầy, con muốn hỏi là những cái người mà có một số người ta niệm Phật xong người ta biết trước ngày giờ, thấy được Phật đến đón và cái ngày đó đi để vãng sanh á, thì có phải là những người đó đã được chứng quả A-la-hán trước rồi không Thầy? Dạ, A Di Đà Phật.
Amitabha Master, I would like to ask that there's a few people when they at the moment of death they recite the Buddha name and they know their time of departed ahead of the time and they saw the Buddha came and greet them and they rebirth to the Pure Land. So when these people are they attend arhatship or not?
Not necessarily, not at all. Okay. Usually what happens is that these people they deserve to go to the Pure Land, and Amitabha Buddha is ready to take them. You don't realize that it takes preparations, very much like funerals. Like your mom, Vicky's mom, she needed 3 days to prepare for funerals and invite and make arrangements and take care of the paperwork. Same thing. Before you go to Pure Land, guess what? Amitabha Buddha knows already. So he's preparing. Okay? And one of the things, what is that form of preparation? When you go to Pure Land, your mind must be clear, cannot be confused. Does it help? You find out yourself. Okay? And then, so your head is clear. Just when your head is clear, you are able to see a little bit more. And also what usually happens is the Buddha also sort of helps you. Say, you're going to die in a few days, in a few weeks, and so we'll put your mind at ease. You're not worried anymore. Okay? Because ordinary people, they're scared. And they say, I'm going to lose my mind. What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my husband and so forth? So that's why these people, when then they usually receive help. Okay? because it's in the Buddha's interest to keep your mind free and clear and calm. Remember, Buddhas are very selective. Don't think Amitabha would accept anyone who's crazy, who's confused. You cannot be reborn in the Pure Land if you're confused. Shh, don't tell the Vietnam people. Okay? They think, I recite Buddha's name. No, there's a lot more going on than that. Don't tell girlfriend either. She'll go to Christian heaven with her boyfriend. No, her boyfriend goes to, no, we don't want Christians in the Pure Land. Never mind. Yes, is it clear? So that's why a lot more things happening. In some cases too, they have some skills, so they're able to see for themselves as well. For example, the Chan masters, they are able to see for themselves. That's quite often. That's their own skills. But for ordinary people, sometimes get help. Okay? Chan masters, they can see because they can use the Chan skills to calm down and not get agitated. For lay people, our skills are not as advanced, so we may get agitated. So sometimes the Buddha says, yep, I'll take her. Not the boyfriend, that kind of thing. Then, so American, that's all you care for, yourself. What kind of Buddhist are you? Anyway, where was I? Okay, so typically, you get help, and therefore the mind has to be calm before you can be brought back to the Pure Land. There's a lot more going on, you think. The Vietnam, the Asians don't know that. Don't tell, don't say anything. Isn't it cute how you see children play and get along and happy together? Totally can't care less about Avatamsaka Sutra. Where are we? Any more questions? Wow, I started with just giving some background information. It's been an hour. We gossip. Okay? All right. Okay. I know when you cultivate, you talk about calm and peace and so forth. At this advanced levels of this celestial king, who's actually a Mahasava, who is more likely to be a Buddha, that's what they do. They help us by bestowing peace and joy. He enters the Buddha state so that he can bestow peace and joy. Isn't that cool? And then Master Shenhua says, if you want to influence people, you want to help people, they need to trust you. And if you want people to trust you, okay, and receive your help, you have to be virtuous. Why is that? This is, all joking aside, this is very important. You all exude energy. Remember when you're angry and you're in a foul mood, and your wife looks at you and she sort of like drifts away very quickly. Because you're not good company. Okay? Because our state of mind creates this aura of energy around us. So if you want to be approachable, be very careful. When you're angry, no one wants to come close to you. Notice that? They all take a look at you and they kind of drift away. Speaking from personal experience. You wouldn't believe it. People, my nuns drive me up the wall. But I love children. Don't worry, you have nothing to fear from me. Only adults have to worry about me. Okay, never mind. So you see, on the other hand, that's the negative side. Positive side, do not fake it. It's very important. Don't fake it. You're pleasant and you're nice. People can tell. You can't fool them for very long. So what he's talking about is that virtues, you good inside your heart. Okay? That's when people will respect and trust you. What's good inside your heart? You want to do good. You want to help them. You ordinary people, they fake it, especially like salesmen. Who's a salesman here? Raise your hand. You exempt. You're a good person. Is it safe to say? Salespeople, they need to create this quick impression in their favor. Slow. Sell. Hey. Got that? So that's why it's only hit and run for them. But if you want to have a relationship, it has to be true in your heart. You can't fake it forever. You want to have a relationship, it has to become, it has to be true, genuine in your heart. That's how you should treat your spouses, your partners, your children, your friends, your family, and so forth. I speak from experience because my family, we were screwed up. My brothers, we're all fighters. We're all bipolar. Okay? And every time we see each other, it's always butting heads and see who wins. Beat up on someone until you knock them out, and you pick them and say, "Oh, I still love you. I see you next time." It's a man thing, Now you see why I'm so tough. Jesse is really... Okay. Where did we go? Okay, so that's why it's very important. You want long-term relationships. Don't worry about short-term things. Go forth, people. Are you listening? Are you paying attention to me? Listen carefully. Okay? You want a good relationship with your children. You want a good relationship with your partner and your spouse. Be real and be good. And that's what he's talking about. Don't worry, she get upset for a while and say, "How come you never smile? You never say you miss me. You never say you care for me." Okay? Eventually will come out. Yes, go first. Defend yourself. See?
Dạ thưa thầy, con
Được nghe nói là thay vì cứ tập trung làm việc tốt thì mình chỉ cố gắng sửa đổi bản thân. Nhìn thấy cái ích kỷ của mình, cố gắng bớt ích kỷ mỗi ngày thì tự động những cái việc mình làm nó sẽ một cách tự nhiên nó thành việc tốt. Chứ không có nên tập trung quá nhiều làm việc tốt mà không có sửa cái ích kỷ của mình. Thì nó không có...
Vietnamese have a lot of problems, especially in Gold Forest. Jung, talk to her. What do you have to say, Jung? You've been through it. You learned from Vietnam, you learned from China, you learned from me. So what have you learned?
Luận của em á là tập trung sửa đổi bản thân chứ không có tập trung vô chuyện làm việc tốt.
He wasn't even listening to her. God. You have such a low opinion of women. What is the matter with you?
Beautiful, Master. We should.
Yeah.
We should look inside and control our behavior and try to do good, and then the rest is just fall into the place. Don't worry much about what the outcome. Try to do good. That's it.
Why are you so radical?
That's what I learned from you.
Why are you so radical? Republican. Okay, very good. Good question. You see, that's a problem. You tell them and you leave it open to questions. They ask anything. Jumi and this one here and there. Okay, it's a fair question. Let me explain to you.
Master, can we translate this so that everybody can know?
Oh yeah, that's right. Vietnam.
Hello, Master. I heard there's a saying that instead of focus on doing good for others, how about changing ourselves? Try to be less selfish. So naturally, when we become better, we improve. It will be better for others instead of trying our best to help doing good thing for others. I think it's not right. So to me, it's about focusing on changing ourselves rather than doing good thing for others.
You should not listen to that person. Oh, by the way, who was that? Who told you that?
I will keep a secret, Master.
Too many secrets. That's not healthy. No wonder. Okay. It's not wrong. What you said is the same thing. Okay? What we're talking about is the goodness that this Gandharva king is talking about is it comes from his heart. It's not fake. It's not an act. It's not a put on. Because his heart is that good. He feels good and he does good. Is it clear? So the point being that his heart is all good. That's why whatever he does is good and brings peace and joy to all living beings. Do you get it? So the basis is that your heart is full of goodness. So whatever you do, okay? Even when you help someone, they feel better. When you scold someone, they also feel good as well. And that's how powerful it is when you think about it. Did I answer your question?
Dạ, con muốn khẳng định lại là vậy những cái người thường mà cái tâm chưa có trong sạch như con thì mình nên tập trung sửa chữa trước. Đúng không thầy?
Yes.
Tại vì mình sẽ không có tự nhiên mà có ướt hết được.
Yeah.
Nó phải.
Yeah. It's just like when you wash your clothes. Okay, your clothes are dirty. Okay, you don't just throw it into a washer and dryer. What I would do with my clothes is I get a OxyClean number 5. Okay, and I know some areas where I know it's pretty bad, like around the collar. Ring around the collar, ring around the collar. And you go like this, and you wash it, it comes out clean. If you ignore it, it still ring around the collar. You don't hear it anymore? We don't hear that commercial anymore, do we? I'm dating myself. It's like 50 years ago. Jim. You got that? You understand the analogy? For us, okay, we are not Mahasattvas. For Mahasattva, it takes a while before we get to that point. I'm trying to point out to her that the person who gave her that instruction wasn't wrong, okay? But actually, the process is very simple. You simply don't wash it. I'm suggesting to you, okay, to help speed things up. The Catholics, they want to be good in everything. We can't care less. It's too much. It's too confusing. I want you to wash in general and use Oxy 5 at spots only. You see that? You wash, but you also, if you're smart, you focus on the areas that really need special attention. Get the point? Now Jimmy gets it. You don't just wash alone, we will come out. It's still not clean. So that's why not just you correct your mistakes, but you correct which ones? I give too many analogies. Now the Vietnam girls are confused. What am I talking about? Which mistakes are you correcting? Are you supposed to correct?
Dạ, cái nghiêm trọng nhất hả thầy?
The ones. You go ahead. Vietnam. Yes, don't worry the Vietnam thing. 6.
Thank you, Master. You correct the ones that are afflicting you the most.
Afflict you the most. Translation from Vietnam to English.
Master, I just want to ascertain that for me, personally, in my mind, I'm not that clean, so therefore I should focus on correcting my mistake. Is that correct, Master? Because naturally, I cannot be that good.
Somehow translation is worse than the original. I said, did she say that? She's not that bad, you know? She's not that dirty. Never mind. Yes, 5.
Beautiful Master, I would like to ask two questions about a dream that I have, which I'm pretty scared.
Okay.
I was in a cemetery with my two families, my parents and my aunt, which is my dad passed away, my uncle also passed away. So we do whatever, and then when it was time to go home, we went...
Just a minute. I don't do dreams.
Don't worry, it's a little bit more.
No, but I don't do dreams, no matter how long or short. I don't do dreams.
I just have two questions on there. So I was trapped when the way back. I was scared.
From the dreams?
Yeah, because I found out I was...
I don't do dreams.
My question... I recite Amitabha Buddha.
See what I mean when I go crazy? You understand now? Imagine that not just one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of these monks and nuns do that to you. I don't do dreams. Stop. Cut it out. I don't do dreams. Dream is for, what's that song say? Dreams are for losers or something? There's so many songs about dreams. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why people keep on asking me about dreams. It's nonsense. It's false thinking. When you're sleeping, it doesn't matter. Rarely do those dreams have any meaning. Sometimes it's meaningful, but most of the time it's not. I cannot tell the difference. That's why I don't do dreams. Okay? Yeah. All right. Where are we? I don't know anymore either. Okay, so to conclude the point about cleansing yourself, cleansing your soul, is that once, like this king, Gandharva king here, once he's full of goodness, okay, and everything he does is helpful, is influential, is positive. And that's why Gofor's question is correct. Okay? Yes, you worry about fixing your mistakes, your flaws, then the rest is yang. Okay? And so it takes actually it's a two-step thing. Number one, you have to purify your nature. Okay? Make sure it's not fake. That you really mean it. You really want to help. You really want to make a difference. Not just you talk about it and pretend in order to be liked, to be respected. Okay? It's only temporary if that's the case. And don't think that people don't know. We just don't dare tell you, that's all. Never assume you can fool people forever. Okay? So that's why we, for the core, the Buddhist practice is about working on your core, the core of goodness. So the goodness has to come from your heart, from inside out. Okay? That's first step. Number two, then you learn and develop skills and opportunities to help more. Okay, so that's when things like communication skills, problem-solving skills, engineering skills, medical skills, and so forth. Got that? The worldly people, they learn how to be, I don't know, there's so many professions. Okay, a software engineer. And then, so they learn the opposite side. They learn outside first, just the worldly skills first, okay? And So the core is lacking. So when there's pressure, okay, then they fall prey to the self-interest. And they compromise the values. Whereas for us, in a spiritual side, we worry about the core. We worry about our heart. Okay? And purify it. Then we learn worldly skills later. And this is why the education of your children is of paramount importance. You need to instill the proper values in your children when they're still young. I couldn't say this morning. I wanted to talk about virtue, but that's part of something you want to instill in children when they're young. When you're older, it's very difficult to instill virtues because we are corrupted by worldly knowledge already and short-term interests and obligations already. Okay? All right. Next one. Next section, 28. At that time, Gandharva king governing stations received Buddha's awesome power, universally contemplated the Gandharva multitudes, and spoke the following verse.
尔时，持国前大婆王成佛威力，普观一切前大婆众，而说众言。
Okay. 29. This is the structure of this of many of these chapters in the sutra. First of all, he talks about there's so many Gandharva kings in attendance, countless. Okay, but so we don't have enough time to go through them all. So the sutra only listed out the 10 most influential Gandharva kings. All right, as representatives. And so they list out these 10. So the prior section is about describing these 10 representative Gandharva kings. And then this next section is then each of these 10 Gandharva kings will speak the verse to express their experience, to try to teach their own multitudes. How do they do that? By relying on the Buddha's spiritual help. And this is very important. Okay, folks, when you speak the Dharma, especially at this level, they're very, very careful. They say that at my position, since I'm not a Buddha yet, I cannot speak on behalf of the Buddha. That's why the Buddha would aid them. And this is what happens to a lot of us, by the way. When you speak Dharma, quite often the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas would help us. Okay, if you ask for it. So that's what this Gandharva king did. He contemplated in his heart and says, I want to speak Dharma to benefit these my kinds. Okay, and therefore the Buddha then assisted him. Okay, it's sort of like the Buddha possessed him, if you will, possess his mind, aid his mind. All right, and this happens more often, you think, to the Bodhisattvas and Mahasattvas. They know how to tap into the Buddha's power and resources. You see how vast the network is. A network of good doers, do-gooders, okay? There's so many of them, and they have this network of beings who are willing and ready to help them. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you practice, stay on the good side, it's very, very extensive network that you can draw upon in times of need. This is what the evil side don't know. The demons and so forth, and the ghosts, they're too short-sighted. They only see immediate benefits. They don't have a big picture like on this side. Does it help? It should give you reassurance that you're on the right track. Believe that they're there, waiting for the right time to help us. They're not ignoring us at all. Okay? Next week will be One In Bodhisattva Dharma Assembly. Am I correct? Huh? What will we celebrate next week? The four of them. Birth, enlightenment, huh? Birthday. For some reason this morning I woke up, I was meditating, and then a topic came to mind. Sundays are the most difficult day for me, Sunday morning, because the Dharma talk is so wide open. I fret over it. When I talk about this, I follow the text. Okay? There's a structure there. Sunday morning talk, what do you talk about? I don't have powers. I don't see what you need. You have so many needs. Where do I begin to tell you the story? Okay? So, and one topic came up, and immediately jotted it down on my phone, because I have like 5 or 6 topics, which now are obsolete. Because I talked about them already. As soon as I thought about it, eventually I open my big mouth and bring it up. So, I'm going to give you some homework today, okay? To tell you about what I'll be talking about, asking you next week, if you come on Sunday morning Dharma talk. It bothered me for a long time. This really, really bothered me. Would you like to know what? It's kind of my problem. I don't think you have that problem at all. I don't know, I should tell you my problem. You want to hear? Seriously? You have nothing else better to do? It's Sunday afternoon, you know, it's about shopping time and... Okay. My problem is this. It's kind of personal. Please don't tell others. Okay? Jim, you're distracting me. You cannot start giggling before I finish. I'm always bothered by the fact that in Buddhist teachings, it said when you're in trouble, you ask One Yin Bodhisattva for help. Exactly. And how come she doesn't help you? It really bothered me. And lucky for me, the last 20 years, no one asked me. You guys, you monks and Bodhisattva has been teaching us, when you're in trouble, ask One Yin for help. How come I was in deep potatoes and she did not help? Oh, maybe I shouldn't ask you. I shouldn't tell you. Look at all, they're having fun. She's having such fun. Oh yeah, I'm glad you're going to address that problem for me. Yeah, for all of you. The scriptures are full of this. It said, you know, you're in trouble, ask One Yin, pray to One Yin. Even the old monk in Vietnam is still teaching us, if you have a problem, call One Yin for help. But no one asked him, how come I called for help and she did not help? I want you to do this as homework for next Sunday morning. Okay? If you do it right, then we finish in 5 minutes. All right? Okay. So anyway, can I finish one more slide and then we start with the verses next? Okay? So anyway, and final thing is the next one is 30, slide 30, and next time we start the verses themselves, and 31. So basically, with the Buddha's help, because when you speak Dharma, it's always very directed. Okay? The Dharma has to serve the listeners. So that's why when Master Shenhua taught the Dharma, he was focusing on the people then, 50 years ago, and his disciples. Okay? So that's why nowadays, your needs are different, you're more advanced, therefore the Dharma has to be different for you. So that's why when you speak Dharma, okay, you have to address the needs of the listeners. You cannot simply just repeat and regurgitate what you heard before. And say, Master Shenhua says so, therefore I repeat the same thing. You should be so glad that you hear the great Dharma. No, that Dharma is for that generation. This generation, your generation, have much greater needs than back then. Okay? And you address, that's why when you speak Dharma, you need to be attentive, you need to be sensitive to the needs of the listeners, and this is how they can get more after the Dharma. This is why your generation, okay, is better, is higher level than over there, because they use the old Dharma for this time. That's no longer as effective, if you will. Okay? So this is what the wise teachers do. They always use the Dharma to address our needs. Because, how do you put it in America? We don't want to waste your time. The Asians don't have that. They say, it's okay, Master, we can't criticize the Master. But here in America, we're very sensitive about that. I hate it when people waste my time. So I don't want to do that to you either. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We stop here. Have a great week.